how can I fix that problem? Hold on, guys. I need to go find my tripod. Because this stream is going to be basically about the new Hurricane right now. I haven't worked on him for quite a while. And matter of fact, I haven't tested him in a while. So he's been collecting dust for the past few months. So it's kind of nice for him to get fixed again. Even though I was supposed to fix him on his birthday. Despite having a couple of delays. We're finally gonna have to fix. We're finally going to fix new Hurricane, and possibly, maybe give him a battery department. And also, he is suffering the same lean, just like the 3D Hurricane. But the only good thing about this lean is that, well, the only good thing about the new Hurricane is that he is lighter than 3D Hurricane, because 3D Hurricane has a 3D printed head, while new Hurricane is lighter thanks to his cardboard horn and rotor tube. So the task of the leaning problem is actually going to be simple, since it's more on the loose tube that is connected to the rotator box. So right now we got new Hurricane chilling down here. There's a 3D Hurricane, and here are the little models that I 3D printed. These are going to be released in printables in well, actually, plans have changed. They might be released possibly tomorrow now, since I'm currently printing out the third one. But right now, I need to go find the tripod, which I can't find. Where is the, I cleaned up my room, but I lost. Where did I put the tripod? Whoa, I nearly fell. I put the tripod somewhere. But I don't remember where. The tripod is important. I need the tripod so that you guys could see what is going on with the 3D Hurricane. New Hurricane. What the heck is Lorne? What the heck is Lorne? Matter of fact, who is Lorne? I don't know what's happening. I'm just not gonna ask. I'm not gonna ask any more questions. But anyways, back to the problem that I was dealing with. No tripod. I'm gonna be needing the tripod so that I won't have to use one hand while fixing him. But also, I'm gonna have to figure out a way of how to do something with the tripod so that it could stand on its side, because this tripod can't do that. The taller tripod could, but thanks to an incident that happened, he cannot do that. I cannot use that tripod anymore since it's completely mangled and destroyed. I could only save a few things, but the majority of it is gone. So, I don't know where the tripod went. So that's kind of a big problem. Why am I so out of balance most of the time? I have placed the tripod somewhere, but I don't know where. I don't remember, actually. Alright, so where is the tripod? Last time I saw it was somewhere on my bed. No, it has to be somewhere somewhere over here. I just gotta let my brain try to remember where I left it at. Hello? Nope. Not even there. Not there either. It's got to be covered in somewhere over here. Covered. Nope, it's not there. It has to be. I usually leave it over here. I'm looking very carefully so that I don't have to like constantly look back and forth from it. But the more I look, I can't find it. Where is the tripod? It can't be in here. Because why would it be in here? I mean, there is a reason of why it could be in here. Apparently it's not in here. So that's another doo-doo thing right there. Screw it. We're just gonna have to find something that is sort of related to the tripod. I got this thing all the way over here. Sorry if you guys can't see anything, if it's just pitch black. I got this thing to where it could go on stuff, like it has a suction cup thing where it could stick onto some things, but the suction cup isn't even that good. So I guess this is gonna have to be our tripod for now, even though it's terrible. Now we could see the light of day by opening this thing. Oh, would you look at that? It's broken. If it could even fit without having to press. Come on, extend out a little bit more. Actually, I forgot I could just do this. Is that good? No, it's just gonna slip off. Nope. I need that dang tripod. I forgot that this thing is broken. Dude, I need the tripod right now. It's literally, I'm wasting so much time. If I can't find a tripod, then what's the point of making the stream? I'm just joking. Well, actually, no, I do need the tripod. If there's no tripod, I can't get this stream to work out. It's probably somewhere in this pile, but I can't find it for some reason. Well, we're gonna have to go for that other alternative option, which is also terrible. Come on. I dropped it. That was very smart of me. No, it isn't. That was sarcasm. So, where is the tripod? I am looking everywhere. Even places that I don't remember putting it, or even have put it up there. It's not even there. Unless it's in the trash, or even up here. But it can't be up here. I'm just gonna catch Justin. Nope. It's not even up. I swear to my life I remember it putting up there. Well, we only got this thing, which is literally a bad option. Frack. Oh yeah, I remember how terrible this thing is. We just need something. I wish I could just... Actually, I could put like a little thing right there. I just need to find that little part, which is probably covered in all of the little things. Just gonna, you know what? Just so that the stream doesn't get boring, I'm gonna try to keep the camera up while I'm looking for the tripod from over here. It better not be behind the piano, because if it is behind the piano, I am such an idiot. Because I keep on putting away the piano like that. Or it might be in there. I'm gonna go check in there. Well, no, it's not. It can't be in there. Unless I accidentally dumped it in here, which I likely doubt. There's nothing that could relate to it. Except for 130's original rotor tube, which can't be reused. So now this is a big problem. I don't have the tripod. What time is it? I need my iPad actually to check what time, because I realized I could just check. I swear to my life if it's actually over there. It's 7:26. Wow. So we're gonna have to lock in. It probably dropped over here because this is where the tripod is usually at. I have a feeling it might dropped over here. Sorry if you guys don't see anything. All you see is just I'm destroying things now. It must be. Oh, damn it. Alright, this is a big problem. I can't find the tripod. Unless it's in this pile. Oh, wait. No, it can't because it doesn't fit. It has to be behind the piano, but it can't be behind the piano because why would it be behind there? Yeah, it's not behind there. Yeah, all I see is just a battery. That doesn't even work. Dude, I need this tripod now because I don't have school on the 10th and that is assignment test day, so I'm gonna be needing that tripod as soon as possible. I got nothing. I literally got nothing. What happened? Hold on. Oh, right. I have seen that. I have seen that video that you did. I'm just gonna say congratulations because, I mean, I'm just saying that's insane. Being an uncle at your age is kind of gas right there. How much aura did you gain right there? I'm just joking. I'm just joking. But still, seriously, I'm just joking. But I can't find my tripod. The tripod that I usually work with. And it has all of a sudden disappeared. When I remember, it disappeared of when I was cleaning up my room. So, I have to remember I put it somewhere. But where is that somewhere? What is the somewhere? And how is it in the somewhere? It's got to be somewhere over here because apparently that's where I organized most of the things. Or even it's in the chopper. Nah, it's not in there because it's going to be too large. It's going to be too largo. It has to be like... It has to be. Nope. It can't be in this box. Nope. Nothing. Just a big spring, though. And markers. Nope. Nope. No. Yo, new hurricane. Do you remember seeing the tripod somewhere? It's gotta be somewhere where the 500s are. Or even where the hurricanes are currently chilling. I might have to get a new tripod. I am so cooked. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get... Okay, you know what? I'm bringing out my camera. There's tape. It could be... Because there is a little pocket right here. I'm looking. I am looking. Can't be. No. I smacked 130 again. Just like the usual. Is there something back there? There has to be. But it can't be. Even down here, I have a feeling it's somewhere in one of these areas right here, but also I have a feeling it's somewhere down here too, but I don't know where I put it. All I remember is that it was somewhere on the bed and then it just disappeared. And I'm still trying to look for it. How did you guys get discombobulated? Whatever. I'll usually leave it in this bucket, but there is nothing. I have a feeling it fell, but somewhere. Can it fell on the trash bag? Because the trash bag is actually near the location of where it could have fell. And also, what's that? And also, there is an idea of how it could have kind of just went under the bed. It could be one of those two options, but I looked in them literally, and I still get the same results of nothing. So, I'm still gonna try to look in here because I have a feeling it probably fell in here. But I still get the same answer of nope, only just trash. It has to be in the top layers, but it can't be. But I can't find it. I'm just digging my hand now. Well, frack. Well, I can't find my tripod, which is a bad thing. And I had to do a stop motion even, too. That didn't make any sense. I even have to do a stop motion. There you go. Now that made sense. But it has to be somewhere. It's not where the swatch is. It's not even in there. Unless it fell somewhere. It has to fall somewhere. By the way, is that part fixed on? Yep, it is. That is amazing. I can't find it. Unless I might be really blind and it's in the most obvious spot ever. Or it's in the most weirdest spot that I could ever place it in. It could be the latter option, but I don't know. It's not there. It could be hidden behind something. Like it always hides. Like how the HO scale Thunderbolt usually hides behind the B series. Like, look at this little guy. He's just chilling there next to the B series. For people who are currently joining, what I'm trying to do is trying to find my tripod so that I could balance my phone on here. And also, just to show you guys that I'm going to be repairing the new Hurricane's problems. So a quick recap of what I said earlier on the stream. I said that I was supposed to repair a new Hurricane on his birthday, but couldn't because of many delays. But one of his problems is also a leaning problem, just like the 3D Hurricane, but his is a lot more easier because 3D Hurricane's cardboard, which is lighter than the heavier 3D printed 3D Hurricane. which the only part that's 3D printed is only his head. That also includes the rotor tube. I didn't say horn, I said head, so it would include the rotor tube. So what I mean by head, like, it includes the horn and the rotor tube itself. If I say horn, well, just horn. Rotor tube, just the rotor tube. So, where are you, tripod? I need the tripod, I need the tripod. Unless it fell over here. Oh, by the way. Why do I have a feeling it's somewhere down here, but at the same time, I don't have a feeling it fell. Or did it even fall? Or it did not fall. Wayland Vortex? I should do another test on the Wayland Vortex. I also haven't tested him in a while. But you got to remember, he uses a Bluetooth speaker, so he won't experience any problems. Obviously. While electromechanicals, they would experience problems because literally what they use is parts that make the sound instead of like a Bluetooth speaker. I have a feeling it's under the beanbag for some reason. It has to be under the beanbag because there's always treasures I get under here. It's not under there. God damn it. Here, I'm gonna look in the bag one more time, but this time I'm just gonna observe it. I don't know. I remember I put it somewhere up here. But I can't find it up here. Which is usually where I put the stuff at. But it's not up here. I would usually put it up here. But, like I said, it's not up here. It's not even under the aluminum. If it's inside my closet, I'm going to be very, very angry. Because, like, why would I put it in my closet? I'm going to go check. I'm going to go check inside my closet. And if I'm right, I'm going to be very angry. Because why would I put it in here? It must be inside one of these cardboard boxes. Because I'm already stocking up in boxes. Nope. 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 I'm about to have a reasonable crash out. This crash out is going to be reasonable. It's not like me crashing out like literally a year ago, so it's... Dude, where is this gosh dang red little tiny tripod? I put it somewhere. I left it in my bed, but it's gone. Unless if it's under the pillows, which could be another possible thing. And that's also part of the weird reason, or more likely the weird hiding place for it. Why is there a wheel? That is one weird thing. That it's just wheel that just appeared. Unless if it fell down here into the depths of the side of the bed. But I don't feel anything either. I found Lego, but I don't feel anything else. But that was 3D print. It could have fell on the side. Yeah, I have a feeling it might have fell on the side. But at the same time, I don't have the feeling that it fell on the side. But if it is, that is kind of another weird reason of why it's gone. Oh my god, we are running out of time. I need that tripod, but I can't find it because literally... Oh, would you look at that? I found it on the side of the bed. So, that was kind of funny, and I wasted about 26 minutes of my time. just to come up with the most obvious place of where it is. But it isn't that obvious because it's literally on the side of the bed, so I can't blame it. But I'm blaming myself for leaving on the bed because it's supposed to be in the most. Okay, so I need big chopper for this. So I need to remove this thing, and I need to put on the tripod. I nearly turned off the stream. There you go. Tripod is on its side. And if you guys are wondering, it stands like this. The phone is going to be in this bottom bit right here. And that leg is going to be holding it up too. So basically it's balancing. Gonna make sure I got the right position for it. Oh, misspell. Hello. Anyways, what was I gonna do again? All right. Now it's time to repair not 3D. His name is New Hurricane, despite him not being that new anymore because his younger brother is more newer than him. But anyways, we are here to repair New Hurricane's problems. First problem is the chopper on the inside. The chopper causes vibration, and it kind of vibrates the rotor tubes, so yeah. Second problem is the wobbly horn. That makes the horn very loose and also a weak point. And the third problem is that tiny little lean problem that you guys see. This time, this lean problem could actually be accomplished because it's loose down here, as you could see. But it's going to be easy to fix that because he is lighter than his heavier younger brother, 3D Hurricane. So I'm going to go detach the horn first. I'm going to squish it a little bit right here. Just squish, 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 squish. I'm not ripping it off like last time because ripping it off kind of damaged it. So when I squish it, it is ripping off, but it's not ripping off very aggressively. It's kind of ripping off in a nice, peaceful manner. And just like that, the horn is off, and we could reveal his red and blue stator on the inside. Yeah, the chopper sounds fine. All right. I just noticed that the rotor tube is also tilted. Look at that. So it's not like I have to remove the rotor tube also. Anyways, let's put his horn right there. And let me go remove the rotor tube off camera. There you go. And now I need to apply more glue right over here. Oh, that's why. Okay. Let's go plug in my hot glue gun. Your prototype, 1012. 1012. All right. I got my hot glue gun, and I gotta plug it in carefully so that it won't fiddle around with the pluggers on the printer, because if it does fiddle around with it, then sometimes it would just kind of turn off the printer for some reason. And I have this printer where if it loses power, I would lose the progress of the print. So it's not like those type of printers of when the power is lost, it will resume progress. You could resume progress on the print when the power is back on. But my printer can't do that. So yeah. Here's the leaning problem. The cause of the leaning problem. It's not only this loose bit down here, but it's also how thick the cardboard is, and also how poorly glued it is. I was kind of in a rush when I was kind of fixing him. I noticed that there's only a portion. Hold on, I'm going to try to remove wire because this bit is a bit too short. There you go. I'm going to go test him with 3 batteries, which is the usual for him. And he's going to sound weird, actually. Kind of weird. Just wanted to blow on it. But there is a bunch of vibrations. So if I could just remove the cap. I know Hurricanes don't have caps, but 3 of my Hurricanes have caps. Not the new 3D. 3D doesn't have a cap. Oh crap, I sealed this thing very well. We're gonna have to give it a little squeeze until I could just kind of like rip it off. I could just melt the glue. I forgot I could just do that. I could just remove the glue. Actually, I could just melt the glue, I meant. I could just melt the glue until I could just use it exactly. I am going to rage. Dude, I have sealed this thing very well. I can't even remove it. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at that stator. Look at how loose that is because there's no glue attached to the top. But now I should actually add glue to the top just like I did for the 130. Because when I add glue on top, it'll make it... the vibrations... Oh, that came off pretty. I'm going to remove a bit of this stuff. Here is the top 4-port. Now let me go test them real quick. Don't you dare suggest high-low, guys, by the way. I literally can't do high-low because I need 2 of my hands to hold the batteries. I can't use one. That is a bunch of vibrations that is caused. So what is the main cause of the vibrations? Hello. You know, I'm just gonna use 1 battery for this. I kind of pushed down on the chopper, but I like doubted that did anything. It's still vibrating. It's still vibrating aggressively, just like the Lusitania. Okay, so I need to find a way of how to like. That's why you weren't long enough. The wires. Oh Lord. No wonder why I couldn't. No wonder why the wires were so short. They were still bunched up in there. Okay. Nope. Well, it's a little bit less vibrating now, but I'm gonna go tackle the bottom chopper. So now the rotor tube's upside down. I'm gonna remove some bits. I don't think I could tackle this one because this one looks fine, actually. Yeah, this one looks fine. It looks all right. It's just the top port, which is the evil 4-port, which is the one that causes almost every single problem. I could just kind of push down on it a little bit. I want to push down on it so that it could kind of get into the shaft a little bit more. But I'm not sure if it's going to reduce the... Most of the vibration is actually coming from the bottom. But the bottom is fine. It looks all right. Unless if I test it upside down. Yeah, the vibration is coming from the bottom port. So it's the 5-port that's causing all of that vibration. I'm going to push on it a little bit. I might have to apply glue on the back of the... Stop spamming. Stop spamming before I time you out. Okay, you're still spamming, even though I just warned you. Yeah, no, you're going in timeout. Okay, fine. He didn't listen. I warned him. And I get pissed off. So now it's time to tackle the little chopper up here. Well, actually, more likely under. Is there a way I could turn off the mic? Oh, yes, I can! Nope, still vibrating. Still vibrating so much. Just like the Lusitania and Normandy. I'm just joking. But still the Lusitania. This thing must be the SS United States because the SS United States also vibrated at one point. But the vibrations have been fixed. Dang it, I can't glue that side without the top port getting so vibrating like. I gotta tilt it downward even more in order for it to be normal again. Alright. Now, we're still gonna have to modernize something. The bottom port is the most cause of the vibrations. So what happens if I just kind of wiggle it a little bit? Just give it a little wiggle. Okay, let's go see how he treats now. Nope. Still so much vibration. I might have to remove the choppers. Let me see how much vibration the bottom port causes. I removed the 4 port, which is the supposed 8 port. And I might sand this down a lot more. Anyways, let's go see how the bottom port treats without the top port. It might need 2 batteries. Yeah, it does cause a lot of vibrations too. So I might have to rip off this port too. Very carefully, actually. Well, I need something to rip off. I'm gonna tackle... What I'm tackling is the hardest problem, which is the vibrating. And sirens that vibrate ain't no good because it's not gonna last that long. I don't know why I grabbed out that one. That was not supposed to be a good one, but I guess that worked. I might use super glue to glue on the choppers, but it's also going to be hard to remove it, though. But we just gotta make sure that it's just the right moment. And if I were to turn on the motor, it won't vibrate because there's nothing. Yeah, I wanted to feel it like that. Hello. Hello. I'm gonna sand down a little bit more. What do you mean? Hold on, I'm listening to the audio. I'm gonna sand down a little bit more. Nothing. It still sounds the same. Alright, I'm kind of sanding down a little bit on the choppers. Sorry you guys can't see it. But right now, I'm going to be needing some of that Gorilla Glue, the strong stuff, because these choppers are going to be spinning really fast. So, of course, I'm going to be needing that type stuff. But also, I got to be careful with it, because if it's too liquidy, it's going to go into the motor and destroy it. So that's why I need to add the perfect amount of, hold on. I'm back, guys. Going back to the building new Hurricane. Well, rebuilding new Hurricane. This is like his, I believe his 4th or 5th surgery he's having. Back, guys. Oh, crap. I forgot to turn on the freaking whatever it's called. But anyways, I might just switch the ports again. I'm going to switch it just like the 3D cane, where the top port. I think the motor's falling out. Alright, I'm gonna have to remove some things. Gonna have to remove a little bit of glue in here, but not too much. What do you mean your phone? What do you mean by that? What do you mean your phone is bullcrap? Yeah, today's Tuesday. It's a stream day. And I'm trying to fix new Hurricane with his problems that he currently is having. And I don't want this to go again. So anyways, where is that little shaft that aha, there it is. I still need to clean it. I got an idea. Melt the glue, 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 melt the glue. I don't want glue in there. And if you guys hear something in the background, that's my 3D printer. I started printing something. Oh, wait, that's your phone. Okay. Anyways, let me go put in this little shaft. Just kind of stick it in and just turn it to make sure that, because this shaft is still the same width as the shaft that is currently used in the motor. So I'm going to currently kind of like do something like this and then just turn it to kind of like loosen up, or kind of put whatever that word is called. Kind of like turning it is like warming up the glue, kind of. Because the more I turn, it's gonna get, there you go. Clean out the shaft. Gonna do the same, and I think that's good, actually. Yep, that is good. So now here comes the part that I need to be careful with. Hello. I need to apply glue to the siren now, which is almost the hard part. I'm gonna use a toothpick for this, actually. I should have used a toothpick to clean out the inside of the motor, but what I'm gonna do is just kind of gather a little bit of glue, but not too much, because too much glue is gonna be too much. That didn't make any sense. I meant to say too much glue is going to be too drippy. And when the glue is drippy, it's going to go onto the dang motor and kill it. So I'm trying to straighten out the motor. I think I removed a bit too much. I have a feeling it's kind of touching a little bit of the... I have a feeling it's touching a little bit on the bottom. Yeah, it is drying up, but I need to find a way how to like balance it. It's just gonna drop. Yep. Yeah, the super glue is not doing anything. I guess we're gonna have to go back to the usual. One dab like that. And I just stick it in and hope for the best. And sometimes whenever I stick it in, I will sometimes test it. Dang it, it's still wobbly. I didn't apply too much. I applied too little. And too little is weak. Yeah, no. I'm trying this method again. Sometimes I would have to bring out the hammer. But I'm not doing that because I don't want the shaft... I don't want the hole to be too deep. Because if it is, then it's kind of... It's going to touch the bottom of the stator, which is not good. I don't think it's centered properly. So I might have to go back to the usual 5-port on bottom and 4-port on top. So I might have to go back to the usual because I don't think this is... I don't think the condition for it is good to switch this choppers. So I'm kind of doing this part off the camera to kind of like clear it up. But I think it would fit because it's kind of a tight fit. Yeah, the 5-port fits perfectly over here. It's gonna vibrate. Yeah, it's gonna vibrate. I could feel it. I might have to melt a little bit of the chopper. Maybe a little bit on this side. Because there are some places in the chopper where it isn't very good on it. And those parts is where it was very heavily sanded. Alrighty then. Now it's time for this part. What I'm doing is just kind of like doing this to the nozzle because it would melt the plastic. But I gotta do this very quick because I don't want to melt it too much. Because if I melt it too much, then I don't know what to do. It is gonna make the chopper look weird. But it would kind of stop those problems from happening because those weird morphing parts on the chopper is the high points of the chopper to where it's the closest to the stator. And whenever it's too close, it would lead to vibrations. Yeah, whenever I get this chopper punched in, I'm gonna have to tackle the stability. Actually, I could just do that now because I am tired. Yeah, let's do that now. I'm gonna have to apply glue to the back of the stator, which is in the future gonna be hard to remove, but it would kind of stop most of the problems, like kind of a bit of the vibrations. And if I apply too much glue, it would kind of melt a little bit of the plastic. That's why I'm trying my hardest to not do any damage to the stator. Matter of fact, this back part of the stator is the thinnest, so I'm gonna have to be careful with that, because if I'm not, it's game over. Anyways, I glued the back now, so now it should be pretty easy to put on the chopper now. Here, whenever I put it on, I'm gonna have to hold the bottom side of the stator. Actually, I could apply glue. Super glue, I meant. Not hot glue, I could apply super glue. So basically, what I'm gonna... No, my phone! So what I'm gonna do is do this, kind of dip it in, but not too much though. Well, actually, I do have to do it a bit too much. Dip, 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 and then kind of like grab. Not too little. Well, actually, my nose is burning. And my eyes are hurting too. And I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna carefully put it on. And whenever I do got it on, I push it. Because I gotta make sure that it is gonna fit well. But I don't think it's glued on very well. Yeah, it's vibrations, and it's also closed too. So that's a no-no. Where is my tweezers? I lost them! There it is. Anyways, I did this part off camera, and I should have tested it by trying this on. I'm just joking. No, I'm not doing that. I would sometimes use a battery. I would sometimes do this to kind of like loosen up or make the hole bigger in there. And it's kind of barely doing anything. Hello? That must work. Dropped it in. Yep, it's on there. Nice. Again. Huh? Oh, no. I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, right. Let's go apply glue. I super glued. There's too much glue on there. Now my fingers are going to get too glueable. Now there's super glue building up in the toothpick. We're going to have to grab a new one. Or I could just split this one up. Yeah, we're going to have to grab a new toothpick. That one has too much glue on it. And the glue won't dry. Oh my god, what happened? Wait. Where did this thing come from? It just fell. I thought I put it on the ground. Dude, I'm having dementia right now. trying not to get a bit too much. Oh, my nose. And I'm going to try to grab something that could kind of clear the glue from the toothpick. I guess that'll work. Anyways, let's go put this on. Hello. I'm currently working on my hurricane. And I am adjusting the chopper right now, because I currently glued it. I'm trying to adjust it so that there won't be too much vibrations, but also no freaking whatever it's called. No rubbing. Hello, hello, hi. Alright. I think that is good. Let's go test it with only one battery. The vibrations is barely noticeable now. I knew it. That was the problem. There's barely any vibrations. So that is good. But let me go test if the chopper could work upside down, which is the main, which is how it's supposed to be. Yep, it works. So now it's time to tackle. I am currently fixing my siren. And these little things spin really fast. And there's a little hole right there. And when it spins fast, it's going to generate sound. It sucks in air. And it blows out air through here. And this thing is called a chopper. This thing is called a stator. Whatever. I'm trying to fix it because it has very, very rough problems. I think we're good. All right. I think that part is good. We super glued the toothpick, which is not good because I don't want super glue too much. And I'm using Gorilla Glue, this strong stuff, which is going to work for the chopper because the chopper is going to be spinning really fast and I'm going to be needing this type of stuff to make sure that the chopper is very strong and also to make sure that it doesn't fail at one point. All right, I think the other one is on. Let's go try it with one battery. Oh crap. I don't want that. When there's too much vibrations, it's gonna destroy the siren. Let me try to now. Nope. There is vibrations currently on the top chopper, which is not good. I don't want vibrations. Nah, really? I thought they were first used during World War I. I'm just joking. Sometimes whenever someone says something obvious, I'll act sarcastic. Because, I mean, that is literally an obvious question. But the siren that I'm currently fixing wasn't even made in World War II. It was made in the 70s. Well, the basis of the siren is made in the 70s. I meant to say that. Has a nice 810 sound, and the vibrations are terrible. I love it. Yeah, this chopper is a bit too vibrating like. We're gonna have to... We're gonna have to make you shut up. I'm just joking. Let me go feel you now. Let me see the... Nope, it's still vibrating. Yeah, how is it vibrate? Oh, wait, I forgot to remove all of that stuff. Well, crud, I forgot to remove those little spots that are currently on the chopper that are also the parts where it can touch the stator. So I'm melting it. Gonna have to melt the plastic in order for it to make it work. Sometimes I have to melt so much in order for the thing to work. Because these are the high points. Like I said, these points are the defects on the chopper. And like I said, high points. And the chopper is too close, these points are going to eventually make contact with the chopper. Making, not vibrate noise, I meant. It would make rubbing problems, which is not good for the siren. It would be bad, actually. Wait, I said not good, so not good and bad means the same thing. Oh my god. It's getting pretty hot. Feeling like the temperature of the 3D printer nozzle. Gotta do this. Oh no, my phone nearly fell. I actually barely used the super hot glue gun, actually. I really like how shiny the plastic glue. Oh, that burns. Oh, that's hot. Now we just need one more corner to melt. Kind of straighten out. Actually, I did a terrible job on this one. I'm gonna have to melt it again. Okay, I got it hot so that it could kind of warp a little bit, but not too much. Make it a mini alert? No, too complicated. Even if I could make it not rotate, it's still too complicated. I love it when I get comments like this. I'm just joking, no I don't. Alright, the high points are removed. The glue is probably dried, so I'm gonna have to go stuff this in. Turn this. And this could possibly, if not, stop the rubbing. I meant to say, well, it would stop the rubbing. Well, even though there wasn't rubbing, it could remove that vibrating, just like the last one. Because previously, why not a P50? No, also too complicated. Even though it is a lot more simpler, just no. Alright, I'm gonna be needing you again. Gonna take toothpick, dab it a little bit in here. The reason why I have it like this, it's because the tip thing, whatever it's called, has been glued shut. So I literally have to open the super glue like this now. I gotta make sure that it doesn't spill, because if it does spill, then that's the end of my carpet. Come on. Get centered properly. What I'm trying to do is center the chopper so that it could get on very well. Now I think, oh no, no, oh wait, how did it touch it? It's too far upward. Anyways, let me go test it now. Okay, I'm just, oh, my leg, cramp. Ugh. All right, I'm gonna apply glue up here so that it would kind of not be too much. And I got to remember where's the front on this. I believe it's like this. Yep, it is. My leg. Hold on, let me go stand. Oh, I could barely. Why does it feel like it's dislocated? Because I could barely feel anything. What the heck? Oh. My freaking. That's kind of weird. It's downward. There you go. There you go. Now I can feel it. Kind of. Well, no, actually, no. I can still feel it. But whatever. Make sure the glue doesn't drip too much. Because I don't want to... I'm about to just grab a blower and just freaking blast it in there so that the glue could dry, because I am really impatient. Because I want this thing to be fixed. And it was supposed to be fixed on his birthday, but there were many delays, so I couldn't do it. We are currently at November, so it's been literally 2 months, over 2 months since his birthday, which is on August 23rd. I think it was the 23rd, or was it the 24th? I think it might be the 24th. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I might apply a little bit of cardboard on front of here because you can see how destroyed it looks. Now we got new Hurricane's iconic horn right there. My phone is about to die, actually. I forgot about that. So I need to get... Ugh. Where is the charger? There it is. Hook it up. Just disconnect the light. But be careful with the thing, though. Make sure that it doesn't touch... Well, all I know is that the power is still on. Not from the light anymore, but it's from the printer, because the printer is on. So there is currently power. So then, now, oh no. Now, how am I gonna balance this? I can't do this. Wait a minute. Oh, that would be insane if I were to do that. But nope, I can't. I could try to balance it on my iPad, but nope. Well, actually, I could do something like this. Just give me a minute. Crap, it's pulling it down. No! We're gonna have to grab boxes. Grab boxes now! Is one box good? Yeah, I think it's good. Pull it up. Oh, wait, now the charger is in the way. So we're gonna have to push up just a little bit. I still need to push up a little bit more. And it's getting blocked. But don't turn off my phone because it's gonna turn off the stream, I think. Oh no, I can't do that. We're gonna have to do some alternative option. Do this, come on. Come on. You gotta balance. You must believe in yourself. It can't look down. Can you make a mini P50? Which one? A working one or like a little model? If you're talking about a working one, no. But if you're talking about a model, yes. I love to do that, actually. The phone is gonna fall off. Dang it, I wish I could just do it upside down. But I need something to like kind of stop it, but not too light nor too heavy. I just need something like, kind of like these little pliers. Just to hold down this bit right here. I think that works. I can't make more siren. Yeah, I can't make more sirens. It's totally like I don't have this. What you're looking at is an illusion, guys. I can't make any more sirens, guys. What you're looking at is an illusion. Ooh, an illusion. Ooh. Guys, it's an illusion. Remember, I can't make any more sirens. What you're looking at is an illusion. Ooh, an illusion. Oh, wait, hold on. What was another? Aha! Ooh, an illusion. This does not exist. Ooh, ah, frack! Tripod fell. Again. I need to find the right part to fix it back on. Where is it? There it is. Look, see? It was all an illusion. They all disappeared. I'm just joking. I'm just trolling around. Oh my god, I can't even balance this. I need to raise this a little bit more higher. Okay, now that this point, that's too high. Too high. I kind of want to balance this somehow. I need to make some sort of contraption to where it could balance it could balance something like this, but even with a charger. Wait a minute. I got this thing. I just need to melt a little bit of the glue. A little bit of the plastic. So let me go try that real quick. I'm gonna create a big hole. So let me go do that real quick. Yes, this is an Xbox. Look at my Xbox, guys. I love Xbox. I love Xbox. Alright, I got the thing. Now let's go put it between. And if this thing actually works, I am going to be very surprised. Okay. It's kind of top heavy, so I can't do nothing. So we could just kind of do something. It does work, actually. Just not so much. Kind of want this part to be right behind here. But then, let's go add back that little plier. There you go. Yeah, I know they suck for maintenance. It's kind of weird that you mentioned an ACA Hurricane if there is literally one mini one that I'm currently working on right now. Which is kind of hilarious. I forgot I got my iPad on. Oh, you're the one that made that. What is it called again? That little short of that little siren. I just realized I got the glue gun next to the... There's a hole right there, so I don't think that's the point. Wait, it has to be. It can't fit like that. Yeah, there's a little leftover right there. It has to fit like... Yeah, there you go. It fits like that. Alright. So now I gotta scooch up a little bit more because the camera's right there. But I also gotta make sure that my... Okay, my knee is gonna bump into it, so I can't do that. I mean, ACA Hurricanes are problematic. They are not perfect. But they are a lot... But the MK2s are better than the 130s or MK1s. You know, I should call them MK1 so that there won't be any confusion with the 2001 130. But the MK2s were better than the MK1s because their maintenance are a lot more better. Even though they do have flaws, it is a lot better to the MK1s, the previous ones, and I am one. And now my fingers are burning. Owie. And now I'm going to have to make sure that there is glue on places where there isn't glue. Because this is also a cause of the tilting problem. Be borrowing this, kind of clear out the glue. I know it's worse. I know the freaking whatever it's called. The maintenance on the 2 version, as known as the prototype, is a lot worse because you literally stuffed in everything inside of one small thing. So it's a lot worse than the MK1s, but the MK1s are a lot worse than the MK2s. Or are you just rage baiting on the Hurricanes? There you go. Got the tripod fixed. Okay, I was just joking around with you right there. But still, even though the ACA Hurricanes are my favorite siren, they are problematic with their own ways. But at least I'm not those ACA Hurricane kitties where they glaze the Rolling Meadows Hurricane, which is a freaking hybrid of the MK1 with the MK2 horn. I'm not like them. I'm not like them literally glazing with the Rolling Meadows Hurricane. I'm completely separate with them. Well, obviously that I'm separate with them because I'm literally older. I'm literally 15. I'm literally fit. Oh. I'm back. Still trying to fix this chopper. Chopper. I love this chopper, guys. The chopper is the one that's causing the problem of the phone. Why did I mute? Fuck! I don't know why I muted, actually. I don't know why I cussed also. I'm gonna have to... Where is the thing? Dude, I swear, these things keep on... I keep on losing these things. They keep on going to Hogwarts. I can't tilt it downward without losing the whole entire thing. Can I just kind of just try to do this? And just kind of hope for the best that it doesn't die. It's probably gonna die. Here, I got an idea. I don't even know how much my phone is charged. Come on! I can't get the thing right. I want it to look down, but I can't do that. Oh my god, I wish I have something where I could put on the other side of the tripod. Or even modify this tripod to where it could go on its side. Because this tripod is... I know it's also coated, but I'm just saying. Hurricane titties keep on glazing that. Saying it's the most rarest hurricane. I mean, it's just basically a MK1, but with an MK2 horn. And even if it's coated, it would be rare, but all I know is that those are replacement parts, not necessarily a new type. And the tripod fell. Oh my god. I don't even know how much my phone is charged. Can I just do something? It's at 17%. Oh, Lord have mercy. %, which is not enough. Can't I just kind of tilt it? Oh wait, I could just do something that could actually kind of fix it. I could just put something right here. But what would that something be? It can't be a foam, because the foam is way too huge. Can I put this piece of cardboard right here? Nope. I could just use this bit, so I'm gonna go remove it. Damn it. Damn it. I am barely working on the hurricane, and I'm basically working on the damn tripod. I need it to work for once. Please. I need to turn it. Push it. Friction. That barely did anything, actually. It's kind of like... Oh, wait, I could put it like that? Hell yeah. Made the problem a little bit more easier. It just fell out. Oh my god, I'm gonna rage. can't deal with this. I'm gonna have to try this other method by trying to tilt. Well, actually, positioning the tripod on the other side. I should actually put back on the thing. No. Oh my god, why can't I stream like on the side? It doesn't like it when it's like that. Does the stream pause? Oriented lock. What? It's still streaming, right? Oh, wait. I'm not making anything, I'm just repairing something. I'm repairing one of my sirens that currently has problems. And I am reaching almost the climax of it, but I've been rudely interrupted by the tripod of this phone. I need something. I need more balance. Yo, I'm about to just 3D print something that... I'm literally about to 3D print something that could fix this sideways problem. Because it's not gonna last very long. Are you good now? The side of the screen might look black is because it's literally attached, or not attached. It's laying beside the metal thing, so I can't really adjust it properly. I want it to look downward, but I can't. I could just only do it like this. But it's gonna come popping out at the tripod in like a little bit. As for now, I guess this would have to work until the tripod falls. And now I'm gonna have to go figure out how to put back this bit on again, because I don't necessarily remember. Okay, I guess it goes like that. The glue gun is literally between this box, so I gotta be careful. The glue gun wire, I meant, not the box, the wire. Anyways, let's go put glue. Glue. I gotta add a ton of glue, because I need this thing to be airtight, because this is a blower siren, because it uses a blower to make it louder. And if there is no blower, it won't be as loud as it is. But it's not like the blower doesn't work, but I still need to put on this cap. Even though Hurricanes don't have a cap, they just have a nice rounded top. But my Hurricanes, except for the 3D Hurricane, have a cap. Yep. And I literally experienced one. They always be like that. I'm gonna be honest, I was one of them back then, but not anymore. I changed. You see, at least I'm honest on what I'm saying, because some people are not very honest. Now apply glue around the cap, kind of. I need something to smear the glue. Okay, let's just use this. I'm burning. Yay. I love how hot it feels. I'm trying to keep everything on camera without getting pulled on too much to me, because I get more focus whenever I get it close to me. That is so out of context, but that's the only way that I could explain it. Hello. All right, let's go test it now to make sure that everything is all right, and to make sure that there is no glue in the chopper. Well, that's a sound that I thought I would never hear again. Well, you didn't even... Wait, did you notice the wires that was coming out from the back of it? Of course it would work. Alright. If we got that... I'm actually going to add a little bit... I'm actually... Since it's kind of like cocked a little bit forward, I'm going to add a little layer of glue right over here. On the front. So that it could kind of fix its position. But I'm going to add a little layer. But not too much, though. So I'm going to lay the hurricane upside down real quick. And I'm going to go mute. And I'm going to do something real quick, guys, okay? I'm going to come back. I'm back. The glue is still drying. So while we wait for the glue to dry, it's still kind of wobbly down here. So I'm going to go add a little bit of glue on the back so that it would kind of look straight. Just a little glue back here so that it could stand up straight here. Let me go kind of drip it down a little bit. You must fall. Fall. And then just press it down. As you can notice, the rotator box doesn't necessarily look like a hurricane, but I'm not going heavy details on it. What I'm only mainly focusing on is the looks and the mechanics on it, not necessarily details. The looks is where I try to make it look like the siren, and the mechanics is, well, literally how it works, and to make sure that it actually works. Is the glue dry? Can I go home now? Yep, it could stand up straight. But before I attach it, let's go attach the horn, which is the important part, because I gotta make sure that I don't attach too much glue, because I don't want to sip into the holes where the sound comes out, because if there is too much, it's gonna block off the sound, and it's not gonna make that part, and it's not gonna make it as loud. Like, for example, if there's too much glue, it's gonna flow down that little hole, and it's gonna make only one of the ports very quiet and one of the other ports are very loud. So I gotta make sure that I be careful on this part. And I might do the same method like I did for the... What's his name again? 3D Hurricane. To where I apply so much glue on the base of the horn, like the front part of the horn, to where that it would make it a lot more stable. And also a lot stronger to hold the horn too. But that is more of 3D Hurricane's problem. New Hurricane has to deal with his problem, which is by the wobbliness of the horn. Because if it's too wobbly... Hey, look, the printer is done. If it's too wobbly, then eventually it's going to break off. or even make the vibrating sounds a lot more noticeable. So I'm gonna add a little bit of piling on the glue right here. So it could be a little bit more stable. It already feels stable, but I'm gonna add the extra supply of glue, just like his younger brother. I know the MK2s have like veins on the side, because that is where the horn would be attached or something. I don't know. But for me, that's not how my Hurricanes work. They don't have veins on the side. That includes my 130. He doesn't have veins on the side of him too. And sometimes what I would do is kind of like to make sure the glue is kept in a pile, but not too much. I'm gonna start tearing up. I'm trying to like make sure that the glue doesn't drip down and like kind of make it. So what I'm doing is kind of playing around with the glue and make sure that it goes on the horn. So look, what you're looking at is the same method. You're seeing me live for the first... I've been doing live streams for over a year now. You like my sirens? Thanks. Anyways, let's do the same method on the other side. I used this method on my 3D Hurricane to make his horn a lot more stronger. Like the attachment on the horn and the rotor tube a lot more stronger, so that the horn won't have so much stress. Because if it does, then it's eventually going to not work out. But I got it attached, and I believe it is very stable. Yeah, look, barely any wobbling on the horn. So that is good. And I can't believe that method actually worked for the new Hurricane. It's so weird to call him new Hurricane if he's not new anymore. Holy crap! That is so off-centered. That triggers me. That triggers my OCD. I'm just joking. There you go, new Hurricane. You're sounding just like how you sounded literally over a year ago. Sounding very healthy. That's what I like to call a Hurricane right there. I would love to give him his own decal, just like the 3D Hurricane with his own decal. Imagine I make merch and you could get a 3D Hurricane t-shirt where it has his own decal. That would be amazing. That would literally be amazing if I were to do merch. And one of those merch is literally 3D Hurricane's logo. Well, actually more of his decal. 3D Hurricane's decal on a t-shirt. And I gotta make sure that this thing is airtight. And at least the cocked horn is fixed, because the horn was kind of like sideways. And I didn't like that, so I'm kind of glad I'm working on him again. And now he's looking more fresher! With a bit of scarring, though. And I noticed that there is a few holes, which is not good, despite him supposed to be airtight. Well, I think they're holes, but I know he's not airtight, so we're going to have to apply so much glue on the sides. Sorry if you guys can't see, so I'm going to try to focus like this. And I might smear the glue, just like how I did for the horn. Smear the glue. Oh yeah, just to let you know, if I smeared the glue, it would make it more solid on the attachment on the horn and the rotor tube. So this means that it could project the sound even more. Well, for this, I am just trying to make sure that he is airtight right here. Because if he's not, then there's going to be a bunch of blower leakage. And the blower leakage is not going to make him that loud. But it would make the blower louder, though, because the blower is going to be more easily heard than the siren itself. Alright. Now it's time for the most painful part, which is smearing the glue. Well, sometimes I would have to smear the glue when it's in a right temperature. If it's not in a good temperature, then it's going to be very painful for me to smear it. Sometimes it's best if it's really still hot. The best time to smear the glue is when it's really hot. Whatever you do, guys, don't try this, actually. It would burn. Why not add resistors so you can have the perfect pitch? I don't even know how to work out the resistors. I don't even know how to make the resistors work. I don't even know those type of thing. Look, in the future, I would love to convert the 3D Hurricane to where it could plug into an outlet, because I am tired of feeding him batteries because he is very fuel hungry. So the batteries would eventually drain away very easily. The horn is straight. Rotor tube is straight. Let me go see how... Ah, my leg! Let me go see how straight he is now. Yeah, he is now much more straighter. There you go, new Hurricane. New Hurricane, I think your restoration is done. This is like your 5th or 6th restoration now. Or something. I don't know. Hold on, guys. There you go. Let me go try testing him now. Like this. Now, let me go try this. There is some blower leakage. It's not airtight over here, so I'm going to make it a lot more airtight over here. I feel air coming out from the back of here, so it's best if I were to actually blow into the siren. Ah, my freaking fingers! It's best if I were to blow the siren and then check around the places of where blower leakage would be presented. So it's coming from the sides, actually. There you go. Sorry if you guys are not seeing anything, but I'm literally walking in. So now I need to blow in more air, but this time. Yep, I could feel the leakage on the front. And the front is not good. My God, new Hurricane, you're huge. Well, actually, no, you're not big. You're pretty small. Because you're an average 4th scale Hurricane. There is somehow still blower leakage. Nope, I feel it all the way over here. Fudge. You must lay down. I'm gonna find a way how to make resistors work so that it can make the 3D Hurricane perfect pitch too. Alright. Let me test him with one battery while I'm blowing air in him. Let me go try this real quick. Come on. He sounds so much more better. I know, I was just about to say that. I was literally about to say that. I was going to search up how to make, I mean, how to freaking attach resistors. By the way, what do they look like? Are you talking about these little tiny things? Is that what you're talking about? Or is it that other type of resistor? Alright. I'm gonna go search up a tutorial later. But now, I really want to test new Hurricane while he's testing with blower. But I don't know what blower to use because his blower is not working because he doesn't have the motor in there anymore. I'm gonna go turn off the printer. What I mean by turning it off, like just disconnect it. Alright. I think it could work. The third little one is complete. Let me go see how he attaches. Kind of a bit roughly. Come on. I don't want it to break. I'm gonna trim that out later. So now it's also a weird cone, which I didn't need. All right, what blower can I use? Screw it. I'm using 3D, not 30. I meant no. 30 is a bit too powerful. I'm using 130 or oh my fucking god, MK1. I forgot you renamed to MK1 again. So you're back to being MK1 again. Man, there is so much things that I have to rename my sirens. Most specifically, the MK1, I nearly said 130 again. I literally had to rename that dude so many times. Wait, can I just leave it on? Let me go see if he can actually fit his pipe in there. That is a bit cursed, but I guess this would have to do to make sure that he gets air blowing through him. I want to connect it even more, but I can't do it because this is the only way I could connect it. I would love to connect it back to his original blower box, which is what 3 Hurricane is currently wearing. Dude, his blower pipe, the one that connects to the Hurricane itself, is so weak. It keeps on bending. I might have to add a layer of blower tubing. Oh my freaking god! No wonder why I hate this tripod. Dude, this part of the blower tube is just not fixable, so I'm gonna have to stuff this little guy in to be the replacement, but to make sure that it doesn't break on me. And it's just like the, what's his name? It's just like, hello, hi. And it's just like the 3D Hurricane with his blower tube, because he also has a replacement, more likely a second layer on him. because of how not very stable the previous one is, I might add glue around it. My neurons just got triggered for a second. Oh, God. Okay. Okay, fine. You could disconnect the phone now. I think you're fine. Yeah, you're at 33. Okay, you're fine. You're good. I know! Okay, turn on camera. Boom. There you go. Now we're back onto the floor. And I need to find a way of how to attach this little thingy. But I can't do that. And I don't want to attach it to the 3D because his blower is a bit too powerful. I might apply one more layer of glue again. But I might add more glue to spots that are like I said, well, air leakage, like, that's, say goodbye to my freaking finger. It's burning, because I never let the glue cool down whenever I kind of do this type of stuff. I might glue around. Oh wait, I could just kind of remove the pipe like that to expose this bit and then apply glue right here because so that there won't be any blower leakage through there. And I'm gonna twist it. Sometimes I'll turn it and turn it until I get it just right. So that this part is sealed. Okay, thanks. Bit unexpected, but you subbed. Thanks. I mean, how much I'm at 404K. Make that 451. Never mind. Make that 451. So it's now at 405. What I'm currently working on is my siren, which is called a Hurricane. I fixed him up. I made 4 of these. What you're looking at is the second one that I made, which is New Hurricane, which is his name. And this boy used to be the best Hurricane I made until the making of the better Hurricane right there, which is called 3D. His name is 3D because his head is 3D printed, but his rotator box isn't. Okay. Now, finding a way of how to attach that blower to the Hurricane himself. I kind of want to remove this little gearing. I just need to find a way of how to, like, kind of remove it. But I don't want to remove it, though. It's too much. I can't fit it through there. Actually, I can, actually, just a bit. You like ACA Hurricane? The ACA Hurricanes are my favorite siren, but they do have their flaws. Dude, the blower's dead again. Yep, we got a dead blower. Come on, get out. This thing isn't working. Yeah, no. The blower makes it louder, by the way. The blower of this siren makes it louder. Let me go hear him now. even though the blower is very underpowered. Let me try one battery. He is sounding very similar to his younger brother. The air leakage is so the air is contained. The air containing is so insane, even when he's made of cardboard. Because the 3D printed parts are more reliable, but yet I literally made him air leakage free, which is very good. Now I need this wire. $130, your blower is dying once again. I am so in the mood that I feel like rebuilding his blower. And I do have a motor for him. But I need a bigger motor though. The motor that I have is way too small. And by the way, it's gonna make squeaky noises if I were to do it. I think it's best if I were to find something and remove it. I hope it's the big motor because I need that motor. Alright, 130, your blower needs to get fixing again. What siren is this? The other background? The other ones? Are you talking about like some of the sirens that are in the backgrounds? Some of them, all of them sound different to each other. Look, all of them sound different to these things that are called chopper. The chopper is the thing inside of the siren that spins really fast. And when it spins really fast, and when there is holes on the side of this thing, when there's holes on the side of the chopper, those holes are the ones that make the sound. And in order to make the sound work, you just can't use the chopper bare bone. Like, for example, you just can't use this and just spin it and hope to make sound. That does not how it works. It needs something on the outside, like, for say, like a little wall right here, like a little circular wall with holes on the side that are the same amount of holes with a chopper. Like, for example, yeah, I'm just saying, it is amazing of how this thing works. I'm just saying, how can this thing generate sound if it's just holes? I'm just saying, I get it, like airflow, but I'm still wondering, how the heck does that work? Look, most of these sirens are dual tones, with only a few of them being single tone, like that little 1000 Thunderbolt right there, the 2001 right there, that one's an SRN. What other single tones? That's all, actually. Oh, wait, no, the Sentry 10V back there. I still don't get how these things work. Like, I mean, no, I know how they work, but I don't know, I still don't get how do they work. Like, how the heck do these things work? I'm still wondering to this day of how they work. I accidentally crushed his key. I am so sorry. But anyways. Now it's time. The air gets sucked through the air gets sucked through the middle part, because whenever the chopper spins counterclockwise, it would suck in air. It would suck in air, and the air blows out on the sides, and that's what generates the sound. And that's why it's called chopper too, because it chops the air. And the faster it chops the air, the more sound it makes. I need to buy more D batteries. These ones suck. I kind of want to find a way of how to, like... I'm going to find a way of how to, like... Oh, no. Ah! No! The falling tower of blower! Here, I'm going to make this thing's height a little bit taller. that it could be a little bit more stable. Lift it up a little bit more. There you go. New Hurricane is the tallest siren I currently have. His size could be adjusted with the amount of empty paper towel rolls I add to him. The more I add, the taller he gets. I need to find a way of how to attach him very well on this. It sounds like a Thunderbolt 1003 or 1000. 1000s are single tones. 1003s are dual tones, but they could do high-low. 1000Ts are the ones that are dual tones, but they can't do high-low because they don't have the solenoids. He is sounding just like his brother. That makes me wonder, can he work with the freaking blower of the 3D Hurricane? And by the way, 3D Hurricane's attachment to this blower is literally the same thing as New Hurricane. And by the way, it would kind of be nice to see New Hurricane on his original blower. For people who don't know, the 3D Hurricane has New Hurricane's original blower box. Because I kind of wanted to recycle it since it's still in pretty good use. The reason why I have to build a different blower box for New Hurricanes because the blower was big on him originally, and it couldn't fit in the original blower box, so I had to build a new one. But when I was building the 3D Hurricane, the original blower box was just fit for the the mattress blower, because the 3D Hurricane used to run on the same mattress blower that the New Hurricane used to run on the same mattress blower the 3D Hurricane has. But since the mattress blower was too loud for him, I decided to give him back. I decided to build a blower that isn't that much. Holy crap. 1/3. I have never done this before, but I have never put it to 130 next to the New Hurricane while on their blowers. And man, 130, you are there is a little bit of space right here. And he is almost rotator box height or shoulder height. But anyways, let's go bring down the 3D Hurricane, which is possibly taller than the 130, but he is shorter than the New Hurricane though. I'm gonna make him use his own batteries. I'm making New Hurricane use his own batteries. I'm not making him use the 3D Hurricanes. 3D Hurricanes, no. Yeah, he is taller than 130, but shorter. My God, I forgot I gave the 130 a blower box. Ooh, this is the first time I'm literally putting the Hurricanes next to each other. Might as well bring down the old Hurricane just to see him next to his brothers. But before I do that, frack. Before I do that, let's go attach the New Hurricane to the 3D Hurricane's blower. And it's going to be nice to see him on his original blower box again. I'm going to put him over here. All right, New Hurricane. Let's go see what do you look like on your original blower box. It's 2024 all over again. I think he is a bit too tall. But if I were to plug him in, I think the switch is still on. Imagine he would sound like the 3D Hurricane. If he does sound like the 3D Hurricane, that is going to be insane. And that shows you that he is air leakage free. But let me go try that with 2 batteries real quick. It's so funny that he literally sounds like the 3D Hurricane. I was right. But he sounds more of like a quieter version of the 3D Hurricane. 3D Hurricane is a lot more louder. But I'm going to be honest, his sounding is a lot better than what he sounded back then with this mattress blower. 3D Hurricane is still louder though. What I heard was just basically a quieter version of the 3D Hurricane. And I'm going to go test the 3D Hurricane just for the sake of it. Yeah, so new Hurricane is basically 3D Hurricane, but quieter. I really like how they both... Hey, look, it's oldest to youngest, actually. Look, we got new Hurricane, 130, MK1, and 3D Hurricane. I need to bring down the old Hurricane, actually. And let's just do a family photo with them. This time, it's an actual family photo, because these four are brothers, actually. So let me go scoot back the 3D. Let's go put 130 right here. His name is MK1, god damn it. Let's go put new Hurricane. You guys are very... It's so weird that I was thinking of putting them shortest to shortest to tallest, shortest to highest. Anyways, 3D Hurricane, come on. Come on, you old one. No! The battery compartment! It fell! Anyways, I gotta be careful. I'm going around my bed, actually. I went the most complicated way. Yeah, I'm gonna go re-glue back 3D Hurricane. 3D. I forgot of how similar both the old and 3D Hurricane are, because old Hurricane got his 3D printed rotor tube, and we got literally white horns, white rotor tubes, cardboard rotator boxes. They're basically, look, even a cardboard blower tube and blower box. But instead, his is hand built, while his is a mattress blower, as known as pre-built. So if I were to talk about a mattress blower, I'm going to call it the pre-built blowers. But if I were to talk about the ones that I built, it's going to be called hand-built or homemade. 3D Hurricane isn't that loud. He's literally part of the quieter sirens. He was previously the... what was his name? He was previously a main siren, but now the main siren is the new Hurricane with the Thunderbolt 1000 and the new 500. Those three are the new main sirens of the channel now. Dude, my back is killing me. Holy frack, man. Anyways, I'm going to give him 2 batteries to see how good he would test. What do you mean you're so late? I mean, it would make sense because it's been 2 hours. But I was just about to do a family photo of the Hurricanes, actually. All of my Hurricanes. Like, I literally got all of them in one. If I could just turn my camera to the side so that you guys could see it. We got the oldest Hurricane, the youngest Hurricane. It's so weird to see the evolution of the Hurricanes. Well, minus the MK1, since he's a square horn. I'm like the MK2 look. It kind of went like a nice start and then kind of downgraded, but then it upgraded right here. So, I mean, yeah. Matter of fact, the 130 could be included because apparently the modeling of them is a lot better. It's just that his is more of a downgrade because I've been working with cardboard, and mangling cardboard to look like a horn is a pain. I don't even know where to put 3D Hurricane. 3D Hurricane. Not new, old Hurricane. My God, that shows you of how I'm getting confused with their names. His name is New Hurricane. His name is Old Hurricane. His name is fuck. MK1 or 130. MK1. And his name is 3D Hurricane. I got to remember that. It's more of like the shorties, or like on the front. I can't even back up a camera until I get to the point of where I'm like this. I love it. No, they are overrated. I barely see anyone talk about a frickin' 1000. Or even a 1000T. Because I remember back then, before I had a 1003, people had been dying for me to make a 1003. And I said no, because it would be too complicated. And I had to do it. And guess what? Now they're begging me to build a 3T22. And I said, no. Solenoids are already complicated. Matter of fact, dampers are going to be more complicated. Even though I do have 2 more of these little things, I don't want to deal with another siren that has dampers until I get a bigger 3D printer. I could build a coated Hurricane, but no. Just no. I'm going to go take a screenshot. People have been begging me to build a 3T22. That shows you how underrated the 2T22s are. That would even show you of how underrated the 1000Ts are for Thunderbolts. Even the 1000s. I still can't get over that. Someone told me to do high low on the 1000. I was like, high low on a 1000. How are you supposed to do high low on the 1000? It's single tone. But anyways, look at the Hurricanes. So beautiful. Even these two of where it started a year ago of today. Well, not today, but I previously had these two literally a year ago of today. Like, I only had these two. He was built in 23 while he was built in 24. Until these guys came along in both 25. This one came in February and that one came in March. Well, the last day of March, actually. Well, no, not the last day. He came in... Wait, he was Chopper during that time. Yeah, the last day of March. Let me check. I believe it was the last day of March. Let me go see when he had his full body. If it is the last day of March, then it can't be, because whenever... Look, I count my Siren's birthdays as when they are only choppers. Because that's how their voice are created. That's how my Siren's voices are created. Like, for example, 3D Hurricane used to only be a stator. Chopper and stator assembly. That's what I count as a birthday right there. Because right there, that's when their voice was created. If it's more on their first print of when they're born, I won't necessarily call it their birth date. I will call it their birth date of when they were freaking built. Hey, where's the third? I can't find it. March 31st. Yeah. Yeah, look, I even have this iconic photo. And look, this was 3D Hurricane right there. That is a young 3D Hurricane. And that was the time of when I finished building his chopper and stator assembly, which makes him born... Wait, didn't he only have one chopper? I actually don't remember. He probably did only have one chopper, but the next day he has 2 now. Wait. So this was PM, 8:19 PM. And this was... Oh my god. Oh, so I probably did. So for dual tone sirens, like for separate choppers, they would be born on, look, their birthday is when their second chopper is attached. Their first chopper, I mean, I get it, their voice is heard, but it's only one part of their voice. But the second part would be when, can you do an alert? No. I literally said no to the person who asked me to do an alerter. No, it's too complicated. Even if I don't make it rotate, it's still too complicated. And it's not like I'm all out of motors. And don't you dare tell me to buy more because I'm broke. And don't you dare tell me to find old toys that have motors. Just no. But right now, I'm still trying to. So, anyways, like I was saying, so basically, to just give it a quick recap, a siren with its chopper and stator assembly complete is their birthday, because that's when their voice has been made. If it's just the first print, like a chopper or stator, that isn't necessarily their birthday. Their birthday is when they are fully assembled, like their chopper and stator is fully assembled. Not the siren when they are completed. Because if you think about it, why would their birthday be when they're completed if they're going to have some flaws eventually? And also upgrades. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. Never mind. It wouldn't make sense of when they're completed, but I like to go on when they were first had their voices, which is basically when their stator and chopper and stator assembly is completed. Like, for example, the new 500, he used to be a chopper and stator assembly of 1012, and that's marked his birthday right there. But for sirens that have two separate choppers, I would call their birthday is going to be called of when their second chopper has been. Yeah, 3D Hurricane's second chopper was 3D printed the next day. So 3D Hurricane's birthday is on the 31st of March, which is when I 3D printed the second port, which I believe it was the 5-port, 4-port. I don't remember. It was the time of when I 3D printed the second port, which would make his voice complete. But eventually, I'll give him upgrades, and now he accepts a battery compartment. Thank you. And now, since I kind of upgraded him, and I tried to upgrade him with an 810, but I switched it back to a 4 to 5, which sounds like an 810. I actually switched the stator upside down. Because, well, no, I actually didn't switch the stator. I accidentally put the choppers on the wrong side. And I'm going to be honest, I'm glad I did that because the 4-port is now down here and the 5-port is up here. It used to be 4-port up here, 5-port down here. Because, I'm going to be honest, it sounds more of a natural Hurricane because the 5-port was a bit too dominant than the 4-port because the 5-port, like I said, used to be down here. But since that accidental rebuild, now the 4-port is down here. So now it makes it sound more of an actual Hurricane. But 3D Hurricane is still power hungry. I just hope, look, sometimes it just depends on his mood. For some reason, 3D Hurricane has a mood. His mood is really good and really terrible. The really terrible part is when he can't get up to pitch. Even with the batteries that he has, he can't get up to the right pitch. And when he's in a good mood, he would sometimes go over pitch. And that's what happened earlier today. He was in a pretty good mood. 3D Hurricane, I don't get how you work. While for the other Hurricanes, I mean, it's just different for them. But old Hurricane is very unique to all of them. Because, I mean, it looks like he runs with a Thunderbolt blower. He doesn't even have that same design of a Hurricane stator. It's just a chopper inside of the rotor tube, just like a Thunderbolt. And he doesn't even have a dual shaft motor. The top part is actually just for looks. The bottom part is the one that generates the sound. So basically, old Hurricane works differently than the other Hurricanes. But yeah. Look, I'm going to be honest. New Hurricane also had the same problem, but except for this part, he did have a stator. He did have this stator design, but he only had a single shaft motor, so I could only redesign NASCAR Sim Racing's 810 port as one together chopper. And it did work, actually, which was surprising. But then I decided to buy a dual shaft motor, and I bought 4, and I gave one of them to my friends. Wait, 4? Wait, no, I bought 5, actually. I bought 5 dual shaft motors, and I gave one of them to my friend, and I only had 4 left. And the first one I used was used for the new Hurricane. And then eventually, it went on to 130, 2T20. Actually, it went on to 2T22, 130, and 3D Hurricane. I am thinking of converting the old Hurricane to the usual 130 motor that all my Sirens have. Well, with the exception of the SDL10 and the Fresh 500. Most of my Sirens use a 130, an R130 motor, which is that square little motor that are used. Well, he uses a drone motor. I don't know what it's called, but he uses a drone motor. The B Series Thunderbolt uses a drone motor also. But I'm going to be honest, they are terrible because those motors tend to overheat pretty fast. And when they overheat, it's going to melt the glue. So, are you going to SirenCon next year? Yes. And I'm going to be testing 3D Hurricane over there, if I can. Well, actually, I'm going to bring 2 of my Sirens. I'm going to bring 3D Hurricane, which is the most successful Siren that I have, and also the loudest, and Old Hurricane, which is the oldest Siren, and always wanted to go to SirenCon, actually. So, yeah. And people have been asking me to paint my Sirens. I'm like, no. Because, I mean, I would love to paint my Sirens, but I like their handcraft look. Old Hurricane, specifically. Like, I really like this glue streak that he has. I accidentally kind of glued the little line right here sideways, so I had to remove it while the glue was still hot and re-glue it back on. And now he has a nice little scarring on the side, which I didn't like at the time, but I didn't like it at the time, but for me nowadays, the 2025 me, I love it. It's like a nice little scarring that the old Hurricane has. It's like a scar that he has gotten from World War II. I'm just joking. He wasn't even born in World War II. He was born in 23. So, yeah. Look, I'm only going to be testing the 3D Hurricane over there because old Hurricane, he won't be as loud, but I would use him as a prop. And if I could, I might let some of you guys that are coming to SirenCon carry him to show you of how light he is, because he isn't that heavy, actually. He is pretty light. But during that time of SirenCon, since I'm not going to test him, I might add some batteries on the back of him because, I mean, you could see how unstable he is on the back of his battery compartment so that he could kind of stand up straight and also be a little bit more stable. So, yeah. But you might not know if he gets some upgrades in the future, though, because we are still in 2025. We're in late 25. And we are reaching the climax of 25, guys. So, yeah. 25 and the start was very rough for me, but it kind of gotten better, kind of, because I was still recovering from 2024. You're gonna go back to Tinkercad? To the Siren, how you know it worked? Oh, okay. Oh, crap, I didn't see the other comments, so for some reason my iPad keeps on, like, staying stuck in one comment. Sorry! Sorry. I'm not sure if I'm gonna attend for 2027, if there even is a 2027. But I'd love to go to 2027, but I think SirenCon is going to be only a once-in-a-lifetime for me. Because I live in a place called Kansas, and SirenCon is all the way in Wisconsin, which is very far from me. I could take car or plane. I could take road or flight. Flight would be shorter, but I would love to have an adventure over there. By the way, my friend Everythinger in Discord, and also his name is also in YouTube, he lives in Oklahoma, and he made it there in 2025. He made it there to SirenCon 2025 on a drive. So, and by the way, since I am closer to Wisconsin, I could see myself doing a little drive. But whenever we do take the drive, I'm going to have to be very careful with the old and 3D Hurricane. Because I don't necessarily have boxes for them. Unless in the future I would. But if I do have boxes in the future, I would possibly try to find some packing peanuts to apply with them. Because it's going to be a very long trip. Or I could just put them in the back of the seat. Just chilling on the car trip. Like just chilling on the seat. Like they are like my two little sons. Well, they are technically because I literally built them. But yeah. Anyways, it's been focused. The camera has been focusing on old Hurricane. I love to see all the brothers getting in one. I'm gonna go take a screenshot of the brotherly photo in a little bit. But I think that's all for the stream. Other than the 3D printed 500 SH, the single tone version. I think that's all for this. I think that's all for today, guys. Because I'm gonna be honest. I'm broken. I'm all broken now. Okay, so power is off. Just to make sure. And the reason why I turned on the power to the 3D Hurricanes because I wanted to make sure that power is off. Because remember, I can't remember stuff very good. So I gotta plug back in the printer. And I'm gonna go clean up everything now. Well, actually, I'm gonna go clean up everything after I'm done streaming. So let me go end the stream real quick. So I might release the files of the little 500s tomorrow, and it's gonna be called the 500 bundle, where you could download the 500 SH, the 500 SHTT, the first generation, and the 500 DHTT. So yeah, I'm gonna be uploading those on printables, so that you guys could 3D print them. Unless if you don't have a 3D printer, that's fine. Oh my god, I just got a heart attack for a second. I thought I threw in 3D Hurricane's batteries. But no, his batteries are inside a little container. Well, they're inside of something. What is it called? It's not a container, actually. They are inside of a little pocket. There. The batteries that he's using is inside of a little pocket so that I don't have to put them on the top of his blower box. Well, they are still on the top. I am so sorry for smacking you. It's so hard to move sirens. They're too big. But they're going to get bigger in the future, though. Look, guys, I'm just saying, I want to keep my sirens novelty alive as possible. Because you got to remember, everything doesn't last. Everything won't last forever. And thanks to my sirens being built out of cardboard, it would be obvious of why they're going to weather away quicker than the 3D printed ones. But it's best if I were to take care of them very well. Because if they're not taken care of very well, then their novelty is not going to last for a while. So that's why I'm being very careful with them. Because you got to remember, these sirens are not toys. It's not good to play around with them. Because they have things that work in them. And if you frick up one thing, you might frick up the whole entire siren. So, yeah. I don't know why I'm still talking, even though I literally just said that I'm going to end the stream whenever I clean up. But I'm literally almost done cleaning up. So yeah, like I said about the 500s, they are going to be released in printables so that you guys could 3D print them, unless you don't have a 3D printer. Alright, I guess I'm done actually. Yeah, I'm done putting them away. Kind of. There you go. Modulator, you go. Still remember when I was playing you. The heck? What's on him? Wait, what's on the other? There is just so much things I have to move around. There you go. Hey. Yep. Alright, guys. What was I going to say again? Alright, about the painting sirens. I would only paint a few if they are planned to get painted, or it's just for something, I don't know. But yeah, I guess that's all for today's stream. So, my back hurts. I'm broken. Okay, stay safe, and now you're gonna get hurt. Have a... Oh my god, I don't care. I'm just joking. Stay safe, and now you're gonna get hurt. Have a good day, and bye. How do I end this? Trap ball!